Welcome to the vlog, welcome to No Boring Days. My name is Carlo and I remember what it was like to be a new cyclist. And you would think that getting a bicycle or being on a bike would be pretty simple, but it's just surprisingly complicated when you get into it. So here are the 5 things I wish I knew when I started cycling. So the first thing is I wish I bought a bike that fit. I am currently riding a Surly Midnight Special. It is a size 54. My first bike was a Jamis Beatnik single speed. It was a size 50. My second bike was a Jamis Renegade. It was a size 51. Both of those bikes were too small for me. And what happens when you buy a bike that is too small, you end up, well, you end up having a lot of like body pains, cramps, numbness, a lot of fit issues if you don't have a bike that fits. Also, once you have that bike and you try to start fixing the fit issues, it can be a bit expensive. All of a sudden, you're buying a longer stem. Maybe you're getting a different saddle. Maybe you're getting a seat post that is either far forward or far back, whatever. And it can be a bit expensive buying all of those little parts just to make a bike fit. So if you buy a bike that fits the first time, then you're good. How do you get a bike that fits? Ask experienced cyclists, try out different bikes, maybe look at the internet for like size charts, or like a lot of brands have suggestions on how to fit their bikes, so you could try looking at those as well. The second thing I wish I knew when I started is proper nutrition and hydration or fueling strategies while on the bike. My first 100-kilometer bike ride, I hardly ate anything. I didn't know that I had to eat. And also, I brought one water bottle, and this was a bike ride that was more than 4 hours. And at the 80-kilometer part of the bike ride, I realized that I had more than half a bottle of water left. That meant I wasn't drinking any water. I got home, but the rest of the day, on that day when I did my first 100-kilometer ride, I had headaches the whole day. I couldn't function. It was like I had a hangover, actually. So what is my general nutrition strategy? It's basically eat 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrates per hour. Usually I put a carb drink or a carb powder on my water, or I bring granola bars or snacks. Another thing that I make sure that I have enough when I'm on a ride is electrolytes. I'm currently experimenting with Badass Fuel, and that has some electrolytes in the drink as well as carbs. And electrolytes was really important because before, when I wouldn't really have any electrolytes, I would cramp after 2 to 3 hours of cycling, and it kind of makes cycling pretty hard if you start cramping. Unfortunately, there is no rule of thumb for electrolytes. Some people shed salt a lot faster than others, so you need to see what works for you. I found that if I have salt in my carb drink, that is usually enough. And of course, I make sure that I drink plenty of water. So usually on a long ride, I'll bring 2 bottles of 750 ml with water, and one of them has the carb solution in it. And I make sure to take a sip every 15 to 30 minutes. Maybe in about 2 hours, I can finish 1 bottle of water. Sometimes 1 hour, I'll finish a bottle of water depending on how thirsty I'm feeling. But make sure you don't drink too much water. Drinking too much water can be bad for you as well. So sipping a little bit but often usually helps. Unfortunately, just like the electrolytes, there doesn't seem to be a rule of thumb for water. A lot of it depends on conditions, how fast you're going, how much effort you're exerting, and the temperature, and how much you're sweating. The third thing I wish I knew about when I started cycling was how to set up my tires properly. I'm talking about proper air pressure on my tires, too little air pressure, and then you're gonna get a lot of pinch flats really quickly. too much and your ride quality is just gonna suffer. It's gonna feel like your wheels are filled with rocks. You're just gonna keep bouncing up and down, and it's just not gonna be very enjoyable. And still on the subject of tires, it took me so long to discover the joys of running tires tubeless, especially gravel tires. I currently run 700 by 40C gravel tires, and they're tubeless. I run all my tires tubeless. Admittedly, the setup for tubeless is kind of a pain in the ass, but if you can get through the setup, it is worth it. Less punctures, less finicky when you're choosing places to go, and you can run at a lower pressure, which means you have more grip. So when running tubeless, what tire pressure do you use? It really depends on your size of the tire, your body weight, and I guess the weight of the bike as well. So I'll put a link in my video description on a tire pressure chart that I saw on nv.com, and I usually use that as a basis, and then I go by feel after that. And then once I figure out the tire pressure that I like, then that's what I do. The fourth thing that I wish I knew when I started cycling was how much fun it is to go off-road and exploring. When I first started cycling, I bought a bike because I wanted to commute, because I was tired of spending money on my car, tired of spending so much time in traffic, and I just wanted to exercise more as well. So it took me a long time to realize that exploring on a bike and going off-road on a bike is so much fun. It's a bit difficult. There's some getting used to, but it's so much fun. The last thing I wish I knew sooner was how much fun it is to have a good bicycle crew. It is fun to bike with friends and with people who are generally speaking the same level as you in terms of your cycling, because you guys can go to places together, and it's just a lot of fun just hanging out with good people. A lot of my best rides have been with these guys. We did around Cebu, we did Mount Manungal, that was fun. We did like a 200-kilometer mid-round Cebu ride, and we're planning a whole bunch of other rides. This might come as a surprise because in the beginning when I started cycling, I didn't know anybody who biked. I didn't know anybody who went up the hills and just biked for fun. I only started cycling with this group last year. So it's been about 1 year that I've been cycling with this group, and it's been a lot of fun. So find your group, find your people, choose your crew wisely. Like if you want to race all the time, then choose people who want to race all the time. If you want to just hang out in coffee shops with a bike, then look for people who like to hang out in coffee shops with a bike. If you want to just adventure on your bike, then look for those same people who want to adventure on their bike. Alright, that's it. Let me know in the comments below what were the things that you wish you knew when you started. Let's help out new cyclists. Let's tell them our story so that they can get better at cycling faster, sooner, quicker. Go cycling. Woo! Alright, no boring days. Please subscribe.